When you run, I see so much of her in you. The way you lean into the pain and keep pushing yourself through. And when you smile, just the way that she used to, I want you to know, as long as I have carried you, you carry me too. You carry me too.
Hey guys, welcome back. We took a day off yesterday, which, while it was good to have a day off, I'm so glad to be back at it, especially today for Memorial Day. As you just saw the promo video, and we've been running it all week, it's part of the Love Lives On project, and we are joined by Angie K. Let me get her in here real quick. There we go.
Hello.
Hi, Angie. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good, good. I was just saying, as I'm sure you probably heard, we were talking about, I'm so honored to be able to do this today of all days, with it being Memorial Day and the Love Lives On project that you were part of. And for any of you all who, I'm sure you remember Angie from season 10 of The Voice. And it's Angie K. I need to not just say Angie, but you have this amazing following out there that has stuck with you through The Voice and through this career that you have built kind of grassroots. Let's talk about that real quick, and then I want to talk about the Love Lives On project. But as an artist, I mean, you one thing I came across a couple of videos and doing my research that you wanted to make sure that you answered every message or answered every comment that somebody made to you, that you didn't take any of that for granted during your time on The Voice. Talk to us a little bit about that, and about how you kind of started with this, and how much this your career, which is so fan based, means.
Well, I think like most artists would say, at the time it doesn't feel like a blessing, but when you start to get, a little further ahead in your career, you realize that like those empty rooms with 7 people help you to look at a room with 1,000 people and acknowledge everyone and be thankful for every single one, instead of it just looking like this many people. And I've seen amazing artists in the past that I've opened for have less than stellar turnouts in certain cities, and they still treat every person like it's a sold out show. And I think
Right.
you it's something in country music that's passed down. It's like just the way that the people around you end up taking on those same values, and being able to like meet every single, like I'd say I have about 18,000 fans or so, but I would say I could probably know every face.
And see, that's amazing. And there are so many of the, I'm going to say older artists, because you referred to the ones that you end up watching and the ones you're around. Some of the 80s and 90s artists, and they do remember faces, and they may not remember a name, but they remember where they last saw you. Actually, and it makes me think of Jimmy Allen. He is so good at that. We met him, I don't know, 3 years ago at a Country Thunder or something. And we could walk in a room with him in February, and he knew where he last saw us. And I thought, that takes a good memory. I'm lucky if I can remember my children's names in order.
That's funny.
But I mean, I think it's a testament to the craft in and of itself, because I know one thing country music is, and the fans are real quick to know if you're not authentic. And if you take the time to do that, to me as a fan, I appreciate that, because it makes me feel like you care whether I buy your music or stream your music or click the like and follow buttons. So it's really cool that you were, that you took that view on it. And I think that's really, really cool. Now, the Love Lives On project, and I have my notes because we've talked to I talked with Andy Griggs about the project last week.
Mhm.
And the Love Lives On music project, the album dropped on Friday, the 22nd, which is the whole 10-song compilation of songs that came together um, from unfortunate circumstances for families. But tell us about how you got involved with it and about the project.
Yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend when I was out in Pennsylvania. This is probably like 3 years ago, I want to say. And Frank Myers was playing at the same like private party. And I got to know him. And he's just one of the, I always say we have such good men in country music, like just quality humans, you know? And he was just such a stand-up guy, and in the most like true and genuine way was like, I would love to help you any way I can. And this is one of the best songwriters, you know, his track record, it's insane. And I was nobody playing at, you know, this little private party, and he was just like, hey, and I could tell he meant it when he said it, like, let me know if you need anything. And I've called him for advice handful of times. He's made a lot of introductions for me, and I got the call from him one day saying like, hey, I could use your help for something. And I from the get-go was like, anything, whatever. And that's when he told me about this whole project. And I'm not gonna lie, when he explained it to me, I was like, this is a little nerve-wracking. Like, as a songwriter, I'm going in with two other songwriters that are absolutely incredible. Both Marv Green and Wood Newton were the two co-writers on this. Marv Green has written like half of freaking Tim McGraw's hits, and Wood Newton wrote Saving Private Malone, which has always been one of my favorite songs.
No pressure.
Yeah. So if that wasn't pressure enough, then you know, you're told that this person's going to come in who has lost a soldier overseas, and they're going to be in the room with you as you write the story. Probably one of the most intense, difficult stories that they have to tell in their lives. And so, man, there was a lot of crying. I feel like me and Marv and Wood and Jay, we formed a real bond in telling this story. And I don't think in my entire life I'll be part of something as important and as moving as this TAPS project.
And I have goose. I've like the goosies on top of goosies, because in listening to it, it is. I mean, if you know a veteran, or you have lost a serviceman, or if you hear if you're not human, if this album doesn't touch you, yeah. And because I want to make sure I get this right, so I have my little cheat sheets, because the Love Lives On project, it's Rams teamed up with TAPS. So Rams is the Roots in American Music Society, teams up with TAPS, which is Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, who just celebrated 25 years, and they're amazing. But they help provide care for the families of our fallen military heroes. And honestly, I hate to even say this, I didn't know anything about the project until I started, working with you all to be able to get you all on and talk with you all about these. But the talent, speaking of talent, that was on this album, we just talked about Andy Griggs, but Vince Gill, John Rich, Oak Ridge Boys, Lone Star, Gatlin Brothers, All for One, Deborah Allen, who will be here tomorrow, and I love her.
She's the best. You get a good kick out of her. Whenever you hang out, she's fun.
She is the sweetest person. Not that everybody else isn't, but my own personal experiences with her. But Pam Tillis, T.G. Shepherd, and Kelly Lang. I mean, I could go. There's several more on here, and not to mention the songwriters that I didn't even touch that with those names. You did. You touched on it a little bit, but what a great thing. Now, because your song, You Carry Me Too, is for, I want to make sure I get her name right. And it's Florence. Tell us about Florence and the song and how that came together with her husband. And was her daughter there as well?
Her daughter wasn't there. So the story was, this happened about 10 years ago. Florence, who was known as Flo, was married to Jay Coey, and she had to be sent overseas on a medical mission to set up a medical field for people that needed help coming from battle. So she wasn't supposed to be on the ground, like in an infantry situation.
Right.
And they had a 3-year-old daughter at the time. and he got the news that an armed man had gotten into the compound dressed as either a civilian, or I'm not sure how he got in, and he set off an explosive, and it killed her and injured several other soldiers. They were just on a morning run. And I think this song is really powerful because there's so many hidden parts that make this so personal. And usually as a songwriter, and especially in Nashville, we're there to write a song that applies to a lot of people. We're there to
Right.
make something that'll work on the radio. That's part of our job. And this was so special because it brought us back to why we got into songwriting, which was really just to tell a story and to let it heal. And so her mom got killed while she was running, and her daughter grew up to be a very good runner as well. And so her dad, Jay, was telling us how he just notices so many things that his daughter does that's just like her mother, but he doesn't know how to bring it up without crying and breaking down. And we were all crying in that room for sure. But he finally was like, I just wish I could tell her how much she's done for me. And so we wrapped all of what he was saying, and this was probably like a solid hour of us just going through all of this. And it's crazy. It was 10 years ago, because it's still, you could tell from him, there was still a freshness to it. And he has a beautiful wife now, and a whole family now. And he was very careful to make sure that how much he loves his family. But this was also a huge part of his life and his daughter's life. And he's trying to find the words. And then comes music. And so we wrote this song, and the chorus is "When You Run." It's all about him telling her these little things that are like her mom. And then the tagline of the song is like, as long as as long as I have carried you, you carry me too. And it's just this beautiful thing to tell your daughter. And I just I don't know, I'm just very grateful that I was able to help put some words into a sentence that he could get those words out, because I know those are something that a young girl needs to hear.
Yeah. And I mean, it does still, like, I cannot listen to the song without tearing up. And so I can only imagine for you as a co-write on this, along with sitting there with her family, for what this song means for you. And so segue, would you, now that I've got you all good and teary, would you mind playing your single on this one, which is "You Carry Me Too"?
Absolutely.
All right.
I want you to know how much she loved you, so much to tell you about the one who gave you that smile. She was as tough as they come, with a beautiful kindness, fearless every step of every mile. And when you run, I see so much of her in you, the way you lean into the pain and keep pushing yourself through. And you smile just the way that she used to. I want you to know, as long as I help carry you, you carry me too. Oh, you carry me too. I want you to know how proud I am of you, of the big sister and the woman you've become. You've given me courage to hold on, every reason to believe in love again. And when you run, I see so much of her in you, the way you lean into the pain and keep pushing yourself through. And when you smile, just the way that she used to, I want you to know, as long as I have carried you, you carry me too. Oh, you carry me tears from you anymore. You were the world that she was fighting for. And when you run, I see so much of her in you. The way you lean into the pain and keep pushing yourself through. And when you smile, just the way that she used to, I want you to know as long as I have carried you, you carry me too. Oh, you carry me too.
Okay. Now that my makeup's ruined, no, I would take ruined makeup any day. Think that is so beautiful. And the emotion that you bring to it with your voice and your heart is just it's amazing. Perfect fit. So
Well, it's definitely something to be in the room with the story you're telling, you know, and I think that was really cool that I got to sing it on the record because it just felt very close to me. And yeah, it's still that whole experience was such a whirlwind and such a moving, life-changing experience.
something in your life, in your career, you'll never ever forget. And
Absolutely.
you can get the Love Lives On album is available everywhere. Downloads everywhere you can download out music. You can stream it, purchase it. You can go to the website that's scrolling across the bottom. I would love to talk. There's a Katie Manis just put a message for you there, so I put it up on the screen for you. I would like to talk a little bit about your career too, because you were El Salvador born, Georgia raised. So and you have now this, I mean, Rolling Stone has named you one of the top artists to watch. You're a highway find on Sirius XM, which, I mean, Ashley McBride was too with Little Dive Bar. So
Definitely some good company in there.
right. And the single that you're there with is Real Talk. And tell us about that single. The writers are, again, huge writers on this. So tell us about this.
Yeah, it was just an incredible experience. I was just sitting up on, you know, one of those high top buildings in Nashville and talking to Jake Gear, who looks after a lot of songwriters and basically puts songs where they're supposed to be. But I was really talking to him to hopefully he could set me up with some writers that he knew that might fit what I was looking for.
Right.
And so we're talking through, he's listening to a bunch of my music and he was like, I'm kind of curious to see what you think of this song. And he plays me Real Talk. And I was like, this is amazing. I would love to cut this. Like, can I put it on hold? And he was like, well, it's a Thomas Rhett song. So probably not. So later on, Jake Owen finds out that I love this song and that I couldn't have it. And he was like, well, I know Thomas Rhett. I'm just going to call him. So Jake being Jake calls Thomas Rhett and is like, hey, are you going to record the song? And I think Thomas was having a hard time, or TR was having a hard time deciding how he could get, because it's so different from his regular way. And he was like, I was hoping that song would find a good home. And so he gave me the green light literally in one day. And then within a week, I was in the studio with Jesse Frazier, who's also a writer on the song and happens to be Thomas Rhett's regular producer. And Jesse's just absolutely brilliant. And we got in the studio and it was just I'm so anti the over and over and over again singing the same part type of thing. And we were right on the same level about that. So he was very good at like kind of coaching me with emotions instead of being like, do it again. And it was just a very real, raw performance. And within a few weeks, we had the finished product. And a month later, it was on the radio. So it's kind of crazy. I've been doing this for 10 years and just the right place at the right time with the right song, and it all just fit. You know, I was right in the crosshairs, and it's just, I love playing this one. It's so much fun.
Well, and that's what people mean by the overnight success. You know, I mean, you've been doing this for 10 years, but this may very well, now with you being a highway find and the attention that this one's getting, be the one that does it for you. I mean, you can't go wrong with a Thomas Rhett song. And, friends that and it is, I've said it before too, with other artists and just in general, talking to people, it's all about the relationships that you build with people in Nashville, especially, but in life, it's all about relationships and friendships. But you have to build those relationships with the songwriters and you don't just immediately walk in and get a Thomas Rhett song just because you're somebody that has no friendships or relationships that can help lead you in that it's the right person, the right time you write. That is, it's so cool. It really is cool. I do want to have you sing that one for us too, but you've done well, I'm going to make you hold on for just a second. I'm going to give you a break from singing live, because you also, I had so many, to write down a lot of things because you've done a lot, but on the topic of Real Talk, 600,000 plus streams that's amazing too. It's not that it's doing something small, and there's a lyric video out for that one too right now, isn't there?
That's right, on YouTube.
Yeah. And so we'll make sure we get the link up on that one as well. But you also did this thing that I think probably a lot of girls dream of, and being able to sing a Disney song. Would do Happily Ever After and I want to make sure I get it right, with Jordan Fisher. And
that's right.
It became the theme song for the Magic Kingdom fireworks show.
I'm still blown away by that. Yeah. So if you go to Magic Kingdom, not right now because they're like half closed, but if you go to Magic Kingdom from now for the next 10 years and you watch the fireworks show, I got to sing the soundtrack on that. Which
is so cool. And I would like to try, we tried this a minute ago. I'm going to try to do it again here real quick though. I'd like to play a little bit of that video. If you got a few minutes, I'll play that video, because I think it is such a happy song, which is also something that the world needs today. So let me get that one popped back up here. And make it play. Uh-oh. I got to put it back in the stream. There we go.
Spark a dream that we're meant to follow, setting out for a new tomorrow. Every step we take brings a new hope, a new day. Every choice we make helps us find our own way. Every wish finally put into motion, diving in with our hearts wide open. The story comes alive when we look inside. New adventure, there in your eyes. It's just beginning. Feel your heartbeat faster. Reach out and find your happily ever after. Find your happily ever after. Now we're on our way.
Uh-oh. I think I may. Oh, there she is. Did I lose her? Oh, there we are.
Right.
Okay. I thought I lost you when I was trying to stop the video, but yeah, and it's so happy. That is such a happy, feel good song too, because everybody's looking for their happily ever after, and doesn't matter what it is. It could be real talk for you with the song. Who knows what everybody's, but it's such a cool song. And I just wanted to share a bit of that video because it's a feel good video too. So, how was that to do a Disney, to know that for the next 10 years when the fireworks show goes off?
I'm still so blown away by it, man. I got the call that asked me to do that. And I remember driving up to Capitol Records in LA in my 2009 Prius and parking between like a Lamborghini and a Maserati. And I was just being like, what am I doing here right now? But it was just, it was truly, it was truly a gift, you know, like the guy who set me up to audition for that was the same guy who took a chance on me and hired me on Carnival Cruise Lines 8 years ago, which was the first time I was a full-time musician. So it's like, I think in the beginning of doing this, you have this hard mentality of being like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Like, I'm gonna
Right.
build myself up. I'm gonna make it. And then you realize that, like, in truth, you only make it when people smile, like turn around and smile at you, you know, like really
Yeah.
it's, and you start to sit back a little bit after you've been doing this a while, and you join the community because you realize it's not about leading it, and it's not about conquering it. It's literally about contributing to it. And once you figure that out, everything just becomes so much easier to enjoy and savor. And
Yeah.
like Thomas Rhett and Jake Owen and Roger Butterly, who's the reason I got that song at Disney, like all of those weren't things that I earned. It was people saying, I'm going to give you a slap on the back because I like you and I can. And I
Right.
think, I mean, there's people on this right now. Rex Rothrock met me on a cruise ship, and he's the reason I went to that Memorial Day cookout and played that song with Frank Myers. It's just kind of crazy. You just when you open your eyes and you start letting people help you, you realize how much good there is in the world. And on the dark days, like during this pandemic, when we're stuck inside and we can't play, those are the people that get you really through. And
Right.
and yeah, I've just been very, very, very fortunate to have good people in my life that just cared about hanging out and wanting me to succeed, you know.
And see, Rex disagreed with you a little bit. He said you earned it. So, which, you know, if you're working on a cruise ship, that's a lot of shows. But yeah, you were doing a lot of shows. I read over 8 years, like 1,000+ shows. That's a lot of shows. So that's, you know, that's putting your dues out in, and then people do notice it. So, you know, really, that is so cool though to hear you be so humble still about everything. I'm trying to get like this something out of you, I think, and yet I'm getting what I love even more, which is the humility and the appreciation for everybody else, which is so amazing, and taking pride in everything that you're doing, and loving what you're doing, but giving, you know, shout outs to people who are still here watching you that helped you get there. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I would like for you to play your current single, Real Talk, and then we'll come back in and we'll close it out. But you all make check. I'm gonna get out and let Angie take it away here.
All right. I'm gonna do this on. We've been flirting, we've been drinking, ain't been saying what we're thinking. Creo que me estoy enamorando with every sip of reposado. I can barely keep myself together, and this buzz ain't gonna last us forever. No, everything about you is perfect. Ain't no other way to word it. Real talk. I want you, gotta have you. Come on, baby, won't you dance with me? Oh, gonna say it, ain't gonna make it any harder than it has to be. No, I ain't even gonna water it down. Don't care how smooth it sounds. No, I want you so bad right now. Real, 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 real talk. Real talk. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Real talk. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. You're more than pretty, more than flawless. You're an angel, if I'm honest. You take me to Nirvana. Take it anywhere you wanna. I could sit here about us another round. Put an end to the noise and the party crowd. Yeah. I could skirt around the issue. I could just kiss you. Real talk. I want you, gotta have you. Come on, baby, won't you dance with me? Oh, gonna say it, ain't gonna make it any harder than it has to be. No, I ain't even gonna water it down. Don't care how smooth it sounds. No,
I want you so bad right now. Real, 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 real talk. Real talk. Da 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 da. Real talk. Da 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 da. If I did tell you what's on my mind, it'd be like wasting that tequila on a lime. I'ma give you that straight shot true. I just wanna be alone with you. If I did tell you what's on my mind, it'd be like wasting that tequila on a lime. I'ma give you that straight shot true. I just wanna be alone with you. Real talk, I want you, gotta have you. Come on, baby, won't you dance with me? Oh, gonna say, ain't gonna make it any hotter than it has to be. No, I ain't even gonna water it down. Don't care how smooth it sounds. No, I want you so bad right now. Real, 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 real talk. Real talk. Da 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 da. Real talk. Da 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 da. Real talk. Da 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 da.
That was amazing. And I mean, Thomas Rhett has to be super proud of what you did to the song, because honestly, the way that you do it, I can't see him doing it anywhere close to like that. That would, I mean, it would be a Thomas Rhett way, which he has great ways of doing things, but I think he wrote that just not knowing that it was meant for you.
Yeah, it was really cool. Also, like Hillary Lindsay and Nicole Gallion are both writers on it too, and they're both really big writers. And Nicole Gallion has always been like, one of my favorite people. And I ran into her and she was so excited. I was like, you know who I am? And she was like, I'm so excited you're doing this song. It's my daughter's favorite. And she was so nice. And then, gosh, it was just amazing. Hillary Lindsay even sang backup vocals on it because we had kind of a budget on this one. So like, she was like, oh, it's okay. And she came in with tights and her daughter and just had her daughter sit on the couch, just sang. I mean, she has such a spectacular voice too. And it was just, I mean, it just felt surreal because it was like I said before, like before you really feel like you got to earn it. And then when you get there, you're like, no, everyone's just nice here. And I feel like that's country music. That's not it's not very common in the pop genre in my experience. Right. And like, I've never been more humbled and grateful to be part of like this country family, because it really is that,
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, and artists from, way from classic country are still embraced today by the fans, and getting Jeff Carson was on did a virtual concert the couple weeks ago. And he said, I had 140,000 views. That blows me away. And I'm thinking, you did real life, the car, why would people not? But people want to hear it. And I think we're lucky to have new artists like you that have the amazing voice and the storytelling ability and the humble and authenticity that you do have. And I'm so excited to see where you go with this. And because I really kind of believe now that you're a highway find, I think it's going to be the next, Ashley McBride, and people are going to be like, where has she been? Because your voice is amazing. But hopefully we will catch up with you again to do another interview. In the meantime, guys, make sure you go and get a copy of Love Lives On. All proceeds go to TAPS, the artists and the songwriters and the production studios. Everybody just donated their time and their talent. It all goes to TAPS, which again is Tragedy Assistance Program for families of fallen heroes. And today being Memorial Day, of course, we definitely want to say go out and buy that. Download it, stream it, whatever you have to do. All the money goes to that program, which is definitely well worth it. Also, do not forget to go to officialangiek.com and check out everything, her blog, her music, and follow her on all social media. And we just love you. I look forward to being able to maybe see you in person sometime very soon. And thank you for spending some of your Memorial Day with us.
Of course. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else but to be talking about this amazing project. So thank you for having me on.
No problem. Thank you so much. And for everybody else, have a happy rest of Memorial Day. And thank you all for your service to our servicemen and women and first responders. And Angie, you have a rest of a good day, rest of what we have left of it. See you later. Okay.